Birmingham City 1, Preston North End 0. Clean sheet, kept them out, no problem. Now, we haven't been playing very well of late, and I am not going to pretend that that's not the case. Our defence has turned over the ball to the opposition too many times, and we've paid for that. Maybe unluckily, but still, if you don't do it in the first place, then people can't jump on you and score goals against you like happened at QPR. And yesterday it was solid. It wasn't perfect, but people who'd been getting stick, probably justified, probably some not, but they all performed on the day. We had a clean sheet. A goalkeeper made comfortable saves, stopped everything that he should have done. Apart from a couple of occasions, our back four was rock solid, and moreover, whereas say Friday, when the ball was bobbing around our box, there were people waiting for other people to do something. Well, when we got ourselves under pressure, instead of trying to play our way out of it, we got rid of the damn thing. Somebody took the bull by the horns and got it out. We were lucky. I don't use the word luck, especially not with Birmingham City, because we don't have any. But the fact that our winning goal fell to the one man who was capable. You know, if you would have picked in that situation, if you'd have picked anybody in the team, it would have been him. And he talk about our defence. Preston's two centre backs fell on their backsides, and away went Jay and took his time, picked his spot, laid it in the corner. If anybody out there ever saw Jimmy Greaves, that's the kind of thing he would have done. 1-0, and the game was over. Now then, coming back on the train, I'm contacting, people are sending emails and tweets and all sorts of things. And there were people in there still not satisfied. They were slugging off players, and this bloke was, well, no, not yesterday. No, as I say, it wasn't perfect, but we got away with it. They did the job. Now, our squad is only as good as it can be. We can't improve it. We have injuries galore, and what we've got is what you saw yesterday. And all the moaning in the world ain't going to change that. We're playing the people that we've got, and yesterday it all came right. Now then, I started to think about this. And all these people that were moaning about this player and that player and this player, they're not. I think they've been unfair, but at the back of all that, there is some truth, and I'm not picking on him particularly, but take Sanderson. He's coming for a bit of rocking recently, and considering he didn't play 4 out of the last 6 games, it's a bit harsh. But if you go back to August, September, when he was made captain, and when we pulled out all the stops to sign him, and everybody, great, we've got this young kid who's going to be the next Rio Ferdinand and blah, blah. And he played well. He played well. Until there was a change of manager, and things started to go wrong. Now, I've come up with a word for this situation, and it is this. Now, what this man did the loony, he came into our team, our club, and started telling these people who we were thinking, oh, well, we've done well here, signed 2 great fullbacks, centre half, blah, blah, blah. And this man came in and told them they were no good. Now, we just spanked the Baggies and Huddersfield. We stuck 7 goals past them in a week. And again, Mr. Sanderson against the Albion was outstanding. He was world class. He scored a wonderful goal. He kept the Albion at bay. Fantastic. But then this man came and started with this Rooneyballs. You got to pass it here. You got to pass it there. You got to head the ball there. You got to head. No, leave it alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, not only Sanderson, but other players started to lose their confidence. And we all know what happened in the 3 months. And we gradually, we got nearer and nearer the drop, and some bright spark thought, we better sack this bloke. But what he left was a squad of defective players. He not only couldn't organise in a brewery, but he couldn't motivate and he couldn't understand people's mindsets. Now, gratefully, we started to overturn this. We got Tony Mowbray in, and he started to tell people the opposite. You're a good player. You should be doing this. You're a good player. You know, this hadn't ought to be happening. And then lo and behold, the poor man falls ill. Now we've got Gary Rowett now, who's him and his mate Robinson are doing the good cop, bad cop with the boys, and I've got a feeling that Robbo is giving him a few home truths, and Rowett is doing the opposite. He's telling them these kids can play. He was happy with our performance yesterday, and I certainly was. People like Bakuna, who's so inconsistent. We all know he can play. He was world class yesterday. He was sensational. Mayoshi, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the 2 guys in midfield. And don't get me started on this. We've got to have Bielik back in the back foot. We don't need him in the back foot. We need him in the midfield. He never gives the ball away. We moan and moan and moan, quite rightfully in this case, that we don't look after the ball well enough. But Bielik in the middle of that pitch does. And he's got a partner now in Paik, who is very, very similar. He wriggles out of situations, and you're not going to make a killer pass every time you touch the ball. But if you don't give it away, you keep the momentum of the play going. And certainly in that first half, when I don't say we had any great chances, but we had some good goal attempts, especially Buchanan and James, who hit shots from outside the area in space, had work space, and there we were, the ball inches past the post. One Buchanan shot absolutely grazed the post. Would have been a sensational effort. Now, I said last week we were clutching at straws. Well, I actually, after yesterday, I take that all back. We're not clutching at straws. We have these things in our own hands now. We've got past this losing streak, which has been abysmal. We've been adequate at best, sometimes just poor, but we've had no luck. QPR, the ball flew in our net from all sorts of silly places. But I sat last night after I got back midnightish from the match, and I watched a few highlights of other games, and you wouldn't hold your breath. You know, there are people in other teams, even the Ipswiches and the Leicesters and the Leeds, that make just as many bad passes, just as many bad clearances as we do. The difference is that they've got blokes in their teams that can put the ball in the net. And not only that, they get the touches. That got a deflection, it's gone in the other corner. We don't get that. I mean, those two shots from James and Buchanan could have hit anybody. James's shot actually went through a bloke's legs, and he managed to not touch the ball at all. He tried to. He closed his legs, but he was too late. But an inch diversion at that point, and the ball's going in the net. Okay, I'm kind of running out of steam here. I'm absolutely knackered, to be honest. Over the holiday, I went to QPR. I went to Charlton to see the girls. And yesterday, I came back from London to Birmingham, and then from Birmingham back down to the South Coast, and I'm absolutely on my knees, to be honest. I had to miss the UB40 concert, which I'm very, very unhappy to do it. And again, going back to the moaners. Well, they had the real UB40. Well, no, of course not. There's about 4 of them died. I watched UB40 when I was 30 years of age, 40-odd years ago, and I used to go. I used to have a UB40, and I used to have to sign on every week. They're not the real thing. Oh, goodness me. Have you seen the Stones lately? Most of them have died. There's 2 of them left. Come on, boys. Smile. We're going places. We've turned the corner. Leicester Saturday, no problem. All that pounding we gave them in the cup match, we're going to go there and we're going to nick a point at least. But we must score a goal. That is certain. Score a goal or 2. Then if we get beat 3-2, well, so be it. But if we score twice, we're more likely not to lose. Okay, so remember this. He was the man to blame, and the man who employed him should be locked up. Okay. See you all Saturday. God bless, and up the Blues.